Call Halayimullah, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shah, Bahasham, Racha, Kodash. Double honor to our elders and apostles of the Great Millstone. Peace and salutation to the hopeful elect members out there. It's your brother, your fellow servant Shemaiah. I wanted to go into destroying the mindset of Babylon that's been preached upon us, for centuries and years. So before I get into it, let me pull up a precept to go into what I want to go into. Colossians. Let me start here. I think it's Corinthians. Let me start. Yeah, the water. 2 Corinthians. I'll go back to that too. 2 Corinthians 10 and verse 4. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through the Most High, by the pulling down of strongholds, spiritually. All right, spiritually, casting down imaginations, and every high thing that exalteth itself against the knowledge of the Most High, and bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Yahweh Shah HaMashiach. All right, and Yahweh Shah HaMashiach is the word. And what we're casting down today, okay, because faith comes by hearing and hearing the word, but a lot of people hear words that's taken out of context. For instance, I got some quotes like, these are one of the quotes a lot of people believe in. I'm going to do it like this. Quotes. Laughter is good for the soul. All right. Beautiful. You see this? Laughter is good for the soul. That's a quote. Right? The Lord don't say that. But they take the scriptures and they add their own little flavor to it, right? One quote is, laughter is the cheapest therapy you'll ever get it in. You ever get let it in. Laughter. Emerge positive. All right. Another one is, smiling is good for the heart. Laughter is good for the soul. And loving will keep you living, laughing and smiling. All right. The healing gift of laughter. What's that say? Laughter is good for the soul and suffering. Okay, now I can kind of deal with that one, right? But these are quotes that people will take out of context, and they think just laughing through everything is going to make you better. No, sometimes you got to understand why you're in the situation you're in. You're going to have to take on the understanding of sometimes sorrow, is a better, it's better to wake up to the reality of just, sometimes it's meant for you to just go through those hard times. Sometimes it's meant for you to be sorry, it's for you to be real. Because in America, over here, in the Western Hemisphere, a lot of people have been taught to just lie to themselves. No matter what you're going through, just suck it up and laugh and lie. Just go ahead. Hey, they're doing wrong, but have their back anyway. Because, everybody does wrong. Don't judge nobody, because judging people is wrong, Love everybody. All these things are a form of unbalance, being unbalanced. So like, let me turn this AC off. I ain't know that shit was gonna happen. So it started getting hot in here, I guess. Anyway, let's go here to a precept I want to pull in Ecclesiastes. Ecclesiastes. Hold on. Yeah, I already pulled that out. So I got that. Ecclesiastes chapter 7 and verse 3. Sorrow is better than laughter, for by the sadness of the countenance, the heart is made better. The heart means your lob. In the ancient Paleo Hebrew, lob is your mind. Your mind. For by the sadness of the countenance, how you look on your face, the heart, your mind, is made better. Why? Because you grow wiser. You don't want to make the same mistakes. You have to, damn it, man, that felt bad. Why do I don't want to feel like that again. All right. I made a mistake. That what it boils down to. The force of shame. I made that mistake. I'm the reason why that happened that way. And if I can avoid that, I'm gonna do my best to avoid that. A lot of people, especially in these days and time, a lot of people will not come to the realization that they're the problem, that that you're the issue, why you go through what you go through. And until you change that, you keep on accepting, laughter is good for the soul. What they say in the world, they say, laugh now, cry later. That's what that boils down to. You laugh at your mistakes. You laugh at other people's mistakes. You want to help, you want to look over your mistakes and look over other people's mistakes instead of just being real with them and just, hey man, that was wrong. No, I can't help you out. No, damn, I'm wrong. I don't deserve any help. Sitting back and acknowledging if you did something that wasn't right, how you supposed to fix it. Again, sorrow is better than laughter, for by the sadness of the countenance, the heart is made better, the mind is made better. Verse 4, the heart, which the mind of the wise is in the house of mourning, but the heart of fools is in the house of mirth. Everything's all right. Everything's okay. Oh, you did this and you're not supposed to do that, but it's okay. It's all right. We'll get over it. Somebody clean up the mess and let's get back to having fun. No. And sometimes when you keep on ignoring the situations that you put yourself into, as far as bad situations, like things that don't really have to happen, things that don't really have to be, when you sit back and watch that you don't have to put yourself in those situations, you'll be like that spirit of repentance, redemption, repentance. I need to change. I need to make a change in my life because I didn't have to do that. I didn't have to go through that. That's a part of waking up. That's a part of being in a house of mourning. When you're in the house of mirth, you're not really observant of your own doings. You're not observant of why you're in the situation you're in. Just like a lot of people that's locked up in prison or in jail right now. Some of them, perhaps even the majority of them, that's been convicted because they supposed to be there, because of what they've done. They damn, I'm the reason why I'm here. So let me just do right. Let me change my ways and get right. But the majority of the people, it's lucky if I said that twisted, but the majority of the people that's sitting there, that's in there, that don't feel like they was wrong or did anything wrong, what happens? They end up keep on making the same mistakes while they up in there. And then what happens? And then they just get bogged down with, I'm never going to leave, so I got to do what I got to do to survive. And they never leave until their death date. They never leave. They get comfortable in being in that prison, and that's what sin is. That's what iniquity is. You being comforted, even though you're not locked behind bars. Out here in the real world, you keep on adding sin upon sin upon sin on you because you want to be in the house of mirth having fun, and you're not realizing what you're doing wrong. All right. Let me go here to Proverbs, because it's one of the things that I pulled up upon looking up this word. Proverbs 17. We're gonna jump down to verse 22, and we're gonna go into Okay, here it says, verse 22, a merry heart doeth good like a medicine. A merry heart doeth good like a medicine. But a broken spirit drieth the bones. Now, what does that mean? We're going to get into it. Because like right here, over here in the NLT, it says, a cheerful heart is good medicine. Right? And it is. A cheerful mind. Going to one of the precepts that my brother likes to go into. My brother Bayan likes to go into. And it's not here. It's not here. In fact, I can pull that back up. 17. And I can go over here to, yeah, Sirach or Ecclesiastes chapter 2. I'm already there. Ecclesiastes chapter 2, verse 5, I want to say. Let's see. Let us see, said the blind man. Let us see. You don't give me. It's going to take some time. All right, so if you don't want to bring it out, I'll go to the book if I got to. Ecclesiastes or Sirach chapter 2. Okay, that's what I thought. Ecclesiastes chapter 2 and verse 4. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, right? Mary, as we just read in Proverbs chapter 17. You know, take it cheerfully, because now that you're in the thicket, we are in the recompense for our disobedience to Yahweh Shem Yahushua, right? So take it cheerfully. Don't buck up and get mad at the Lord, because what's that going to do? That's going to make you want to be more disobedient, make you feel more entitled, make you feel like, you ain't did nothing wrong. Why is the world against me? Woe is me spirit. That's not a humble and contrite spirit. That's a rebellious spirit. And that's what 2/3 of our people harness. Somebody owed them something. Everybody else is wrong besides them for what they've done. All right. And the more you pacify that, the more you try to, encourage somebody in their evil doings, it's going to be put on you 2 times more. So you got to sit back and just ask yourself, is what you're doing, is it right in the eyes of the Lord? What does the Lord require of me? Why am I in this situation? What can I do to get out of it? All right. Verse 4 again, whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully and be patient when thou art changed to a low estate. Why? For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. Acceptable men is tried in the furnace of adversity. And that's what this is. Going through this pain, going through neglect, going through suffering, afflictions and stresses, things that you might not even think that you brought it upon yourself in this lifetime. But what about your last lifetime? What about things you've done before you came into the truth? Let alone the things that you've done while in the truth, whether you know it or not. These things are supposed to make you stronger. Again, as we read in Ecclesiastes chapter 7, sorrow is better. Sorrow is better, and the continence. The continence is made better. It's lucky before I even mess it up. Let me go back to it so I don't mess it up. Ecclesiastes chapter 7. Sorrow is better than laughter, for by the sadness of the countenance the heart is made better. Your mind is made stronger. Back to, I didn't say Isaiah. I probably did. Proverbs 17. What was that, 22? A merry heart doeth good like a medicine, but a broken spirit drieth the bones. And sometimes, yeah, we're in the valley of dry bones, right? And that's a part of the affliction. That's why we're here in the valley of dry bones, right? Let me go back there. Read that again. A merry heart, right here at verse 22. A merry heart doeth good like a medicine, but a broken spirit drieth the bones, right? We was here. The Lord executed judgment upon the children of Israel. You know, the last judgment, might I add, he put us through slavery, for the last time as a people. But we had to come over here to understand where we went off at. We had to come into the house of mirth, where a lot of our people, in the house of mourning, where a lot of our people are still involved in mirth and having fun. When we're supposed to be having the spirit of a broken spirit, of dry bones, being repentant, returning back to the Lord. All right, because this is not the end all be all. Let's get that here in dry bones. Okay, but a broken spirit drieth the bone. Let's get to dry. What does that mean? To be dried, right? Over here in the valley of dry bones. To make dry, wither, be dry, become dry, be dried up, be withered. I'm gonna jump down here because it was a word that I saw that I want to go into. Beautiful, right here, right? The KJV translation count. The KJV translation Strong's H3001 in the following manner. It says, dry up is found 27 times. Withered is found 22 times. Confounded, all right? We came over here, we were confounded as a people. We didn't know who we were anymore. It said 9 times. Ashamed, 7 times. Ashamed, being called proverbs and bywords, which our people, the majority of our people take that shit on like it's cool. Like I'm a nigga, I'm a thug, I'm a gangster, I'm a bitch, I'm a hoe, I'm a slut, I'm a African American, I'm a Native American, I'm a Cuban, I'm a Haitian, I'm a Negro, West Indian. These are proverbs and bywords. These are forms of shame. We've been hidden from who we are. And now the Lord has revealed to us who we are, and you want to call yourself a fucking American? America means bitter. You want to call yourself bitter? When the names of the 12 tribes of Israel, Judah, Yahweh thanks. You know? These names hold spiritual weight. But nah, we came here to be ashamed. And you see this word right here next to ashamed? Clean. Clean. Be confounded. Make, dry up, do shameful. Shamefully or shamefully. Right? Clean. That's a point, to be made clean. That's the word I wanted. Clean. Clean. Why y'all trying to make things complicated? Clean. Fucker. I should have went to the Google. Clean. Yeah, we can get up out of that. Clean. Clean. Dry bone.
Clean.
Clean means free from dirt, impurities, or stains, but also implies moral purity, innocence, or being free from objectable elements like bad language. Fuck all that, They said bad language. Even though at the end of the day, we don't need to use bad language. We're gonna get back our original tongue, which is starting right now. The ancient Paleo Hebrew, which, well, anyway, I ain't gonna go there right now. But we're getting I like this. Jumping down, it says it can also describe something complete, right? Complete, the process of being made clean through our affliction. It says precise or simple, as in a clean break, Right? We came over here to be brought through this affliction, these times of affliction, for the Lord to give us a clean break, to clean our slate, clean lines or a clean joke, whatever. Right? It say with various specialized meanings in different fields like law, medicine, or technology. All right. Well, our medicine is to actually go through this affliction to be made better, to get our minds right, to get our heart right. Not, if you love someone and they going up, they're doing things they ain't supposed to be doing, the more you pay for them to get out of trouble, the more you comfort them and tell them what they're doing it's not it's okay. It's not your fault. The more you do that, the worse you make them. The worse you make them. You don't spank them. You don't take away their privileges. You keep on giving them a place to stay, a roof over their head, and feeding them, and whatever they ask you to do, you keep on doing it. They're not gonna ever learn their lesson. And what's gonna do? They're gonna develop being growing worse and worse, worse and worse, until the point where there's no return. But being through this valley of dry bones, it's supposed to make us free from dirt. And that's how, through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, not by our own doings. Let's go here to Ecclesiastes chapter 7 and verse 2. Which I should have been got that, I guess. I wasn't thinking. Ecclesiastes chapter 7 and verse 2. Salaki, it says, "It is better to go into the house of mourning than to go into the house of feasting, for that is the end of all men, and the living will lay it to his heart." So when you understand that you're supposed to be in a mind state of mourning, you see that you went wrong, and you're suffering from doing wrong. A smart person will sit back, or a person of wisdom, a person that fear the Lord, sit back and be like, "Hey, I'm not gonna keep on doing that. I'm not gonna keep on sinning, because the Lord is long suffering. It's been many times that you've seen in your own life that you ain't supposed to be here no more. The Lord is merciful. That you could be locked up, you could be dead, you could be without an eyeball, you could be walking around here looking all kind of fucked up, but the Lord saved you. How many times the Lord got to keep on saving you from your bullshit before he say, all right, give him what he want. Give them what they want, because they're not listening. They're not returning. They're not feeling mourning for him. Sorry. That time is coming. To any and all that want to keep on going against you, how about Shemal Shah? That's what your outcome is going to be. The hedge of protection is going to be taken away, and you're going to have to deal with you have to deal with the Lord, with the judgment that you brought upon yourself, ultimately. All right. I want to go here to Jeremiah chapter 30. Jeremiah 30. Hope this ain't too long. I'm going to jump down to verse 15. And it says, "Why criest thou for thine affliction? Thy sorrow is incurable for the multitude of thine iniquities." All right. "Because thy sins were increased, I have done these things unto thee." So it's the Lord that done these things unto you, unto us. And what are we supposed to be doing? We're supposed to be returning back to the Lord with a broken and contrite spirit. A spirit that the Lord can work with. He could clean up. He can't clean nobody that want to keep on being rebellious and, doing your own thing, leaning on your own understanding. Broken and contrite, man, you're going to be like, "Hey, man, I got to give up this shit. It's no future in it for me." And that's only for the elect, man. We're not worried about the rest of the children of Israel. Though we do love you, that's why we do this. We spend our time through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema to warn you, before the Lord actually come down on us. which is what he's doing. What do you think Jacob trouble is about, man? The Lord about to check every one of us. That goes to myself as well. I'm not saying, I'm not, my righteousness is all that, man. We understand what we are part of. We understand what we in. We understand that this is a once in a lifetime chance or opportunity to man, it's say what to please the Lord, to show that you are sincere, to actually, hope that He has your best interest in heart, because He don't got to. We all deserve hell. We all deserve the lake of fire. We all deserve suffering and pain, but through the afflictions that we can see that we've gone through, we should be returning back to the Lord to the best of our ability, 10 times more than when we were in the world. All right, let me get this in Psalms. Let me go to Psalms first, and I'm going to finish off on there. Psalms chapter 119. Psalm chapter 119, and I'm going to jump down to verse 73. I'll pass it up, 70. All right. Psalms 119, starting at verse 73. Jod, thy hands have made me and fashioned me. Give me understanding that I may learn thy commandments. They that fear thee will be glad when they see me, because I have hoped in thy word. Okay. I know, O Lord, that thy judgments are right, and that thou in faithfulness has afflicted me. Okay? In faithfulness, the Lord afflicted us. Lord, wouldn't we be a part of his, that his sons? We've been chastised, We came over here and we went through all these things, the heartbreak, the shame, being dry bones, not remembering our heritage, looking at ourselves like, based on what Esau said, we'll be okay. And no matter what we do to conform to this world, it's never good enough. Your family, your job, all your living conditions, rent still going up, job still laying off, your loved ones still, turning their backs, having to change your heart, But again, the Lord did this. Verse 75 again, I know, O Lord, that thy judgments are right, and that thou in faithfulness have afflicted me. All right, we was afflicted. Going back to that Jeremiah 30. Jeremiah 30. In the Lord's faithfulness, he afflicted us. As a form of love, 15, Salakia. Again, why criest thou for thine afflictions? Thy sorrow is incurable for the multitude of thy iniquity, because thy sins were increased. I have done these things unto thee. But here's the point, verse 16. Therefore, all they that devour thee shall be devoured, and all thine adversaries, every one of them, shall go into captivity. And they that spoil thee shall be a spoil, and all they that prey upon thee will I give for a prey. For I will restore health unto thee, and I will heal thee of thy wounds, saith the Lord, because they call thee an outcast, saying, This is Zion, who no man seeketh after. All right. So the Lord's gonna be, what the Lord's doing right now. He's delivering, or he's sanctifying his elect. He's separating them through Jacob's trouble. It's written that all these things are going to come upon the world, but Jacob shall be saved out of it. A time like no other, but Jacob shall be saved out of it. The remnant of Jacob is going to be saved out of these times. Well, we shouldn't be in the mindset of being puffed up, or proud. But you got to remain in with that humble and contrite spirit, a broken spirit. Amongst these people, man, where everybody having fun doing their thing, and even though we might make it look good, right? You can make it look good, cause we use the world but not abusing it. Just being with the brothers today, man. It's just people will look at us and be like, "Damn, them brothers," you know, they show a lot of love to each other, man. And they ain't arguing with nobody, going back and forth. They actually agreeing with what's going on. They having the same mindset. That's the same mind state. That's not normal in this world amongst Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, especially the men. It's a blessing. It's beautiful to be a part of this. Right? Verse 18. Restoration of Jacob. Thus says the Lord, behold, I will bring thee again. I will bring again the captivity of Jacob's tents, and have mercy on his dwelling places. And the city shall be built upon her own heap, and the palace shall remain after the manner thereof. And out of them shall proceed thanksgiving, and the voice of them that make merry. All right, merry. Going back to being cheerful, taking this punishment that we're going through cheerfully as a sign of understanding that we the ones that messed up, but the Lord got our back. He's always had our back. He's done this just to make us have a better mindset of what we're walking into, which is the kingdom. No more playing, no more laughing for bullshit. That the sadness of our continence is going to make our hearts better. So keep that sadness to the continents, man. And people look at us and be like, damn, what's wrong with you? No, I'm all right. I'm good. I just look like this. I get it from my father. Type shit. All right. It's and out of them shall proceed thanksgiving, and the voice of them that make merry. And I will multiply them, and they shall not be few. I will also glorify them, and they shall not be small. Right? Because in the kingdom, we all know what's going to happen. We already know the Lord will take the elect and make them a great number. Verse 20, their children also shall be as aforetime, and their congregation shall be established before me, and I will punish all that oppress them. So what's going on? What's about to happen during Jacob's trouble for the elect of Israel? The Lord got your back. Even for you Israelites, 2/3 Israelites, the Lord He's going to have your back. When you come back after learning after death by pain, He's going to make all your enemies, all those that oppress you, He's going to put them in their rightful place, and you'll be okay then. All right, but on this side, you want to have your fun, you want to have your cake. Well, you want to have your cake and everybody else's cake and eat it too. It's going to be a problem for you. Because personally, I don't see no problem with you having your cake and eat it too. If it's your fucking cake, then eat it. But you want to have your cake and everybody else's cake like Esau Edom, it's not going to end well for you. You want to laugh at everybody, joke with everybody, and think you're going to get away with being engulfed in your sins and think you're going to get away with it. The Lord got a surprise. I ain't going to go any longer with that. I hope this lesson ain't too long. I'm going to close out though. Quotes, laughter is good for the soul. No, soul makes, let me get it again, close out on that, matter of fact. Ecclesiastes 7. Sorrow is better than laughter. For the sadness of the countenance, the heart is made better. Okay. Made wiser. You take things more serious. You don't just let things be what they are. You develop a mind state to change, to understand why you're in the situation you're in, and to know that through the spirit and power you have by Shemi Ashai, that's the only way to get right, is by paying attention to what the Lord told us to do, or is telling us to do. All right. Anyway, I hope this lesson is edifying. To the hopeful let to next time. Kwame Yasharala. Wa Abba Baba.